Good evening, guys. MWUSA, Season 2, Episode 213. It is still Thursday evening. I just finished putting on rear rotors and rear brake pads on this car, and it did need one caliper, so got that replaced as well. And I am noticing that the front ones need to be replaced as well, and it actually feels worse right now. So tomorrow night I will have to do the front ones. I will have to give myself extra stopping distance tomorrow when I head out to the casinos. So I don't know, I thought I would feel a lot more comfortable, but now I feel worse. I just have to make sure I leave a lot of distance between me and the cars in front of me, and pump the brakes a few times to build up the pressure, and I think it'll be fine tomorrow. But just have to keep a closer eye, watch out what I'm, watch what I'm doing a little more closely to stay safe. So anyway, that will be done tomorrow. As I said, tomorrow morning I will have a doctor's appointment, and then we'll head out to the casinos. So letting you go for now, and you will hear from me in the morning. All right, good morning, guys. It is Friday morning. Just went to the doctor, got my physical. Everything is looking awesome. Blood pressure is good. Everything is good. And so from there, right now, I am on my way to the first casino. I am doing my normal route. I was going to do it backwards today, but I'm doing my normal route that I would do on this day at this time of the month. Yesterday I ended up having to skip 3 casinos to get everything in, unfortunately, and I won't be able to visit those 3 casinos for at least another week, just because of timing and specials going on at other places and things like that. So right now, like I said, I'm on my way to the first spot and should get there soon, and then I'll be back to update you. Alright, guys, I am back. I went into that place and played a little bit. Only found a couple machines in range and played those through, and ended up with 3 big ones. That's right, $3. So that would pay for dinner in 1962. So I think we have a little bit more work to do here. So heading out to the next spot now, just watching my email and stuff for work. I was supposed to have a meeting right now, but it was canceled, so totally free for the day. And of course tonight I will check all the alerts and stuff, but feeling great, and I'm on my way to the next spot. So I'll be back to update you. Alright, guys, as I'm still on my way to the next spot, I wanted to let you know about something that I noticed and see if you guys are noticing the same thing in your area. So I noticed at one casino, and then eventually at more and more casinos in my area here, that they are starting to get rid of rows of machines and starting to install them in a carousel. So there'll be one group of machines back to back in like a circle. And I'm noticing that more and more, and I'm thinking that that might have something to do with COVID and being prepared for it, because when COVID hit, they would turn off every other machine, so there would be separation between people. And if you have machines set up in this manner, now you're at least X number of feet away from the people next to you. So that might be what's going on there. Let me know if you guys are seeing that in your area as well. It makes a lot of sense. Casinos don't want to shut down. They probably might have even thought about this last time it happened and are putting it into practice now. Who knows? But if that's not what they're doing, then it would have that benefit, without them knowing it. But I think they may be smart enough to have figured that out. So let me know what you're seeing in your area. I'll be back. Alright, guys, I am back. Someone must have not gotten the memo that I was coming here, because the road to the casino is closed, pretty much closed. So it's only a couple miles away, and we're at a dead stop, both directions. Nobody can move. So it's, I don't know how long it's going to take to get through here. but as of right now, we're at a standstill. So just gonna hang out here and wait for traffic to start moving, and hopefully we can get through here soon. I want to play a lot of blackjack today, but I don't want the tables to get too crowded. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. At least it is a nice day today. It's 52 degrees outside, almost clear skies, nice sunny day. So I'll be back and let you know how things go. All right, guys, I am back. I just went into this place, looked around, found nothing, saw one of my informants, and there was really nothing going on. But sometimes you got to give somebody a couple dollars just to keep the information coming. And by the time I got out to the car, he called me back and said that there's a place. So walking back in right now to see, I ended up, I had $40. I was only there for about 20 minutes or so, but gonna head back in there and see if we can get something else. Supposedly there's a $5 play, and at the machine that they're talking about, it could be a $600 or $800 investment. So I'm going to take a look at it, see if it's any good, and if so, I'm going to play it through, and then I'll be back. I'm just walking in right now. All right, guys, I am back in the car. I went back in there and looked at the play, and it was just not there. If that machine is in range, it might take $600 or $800 to hit it, and that one was still a long way from being in range. So that was definitely a loser. That was probably a minus 600 or 700 EV. And the thing is, with a lot of these informants, you can tell them some details. You can't tell them everything, because then why do they need you? You know, a lot of them are all low level. So sometimes it's okay to tell them some things and let them play the low level plays and give you the high level plays. But a lot of the times, you know, then they won't need you. So you got to just be careful. Sometimes I'll just give them a directive, you know, these couple machines here, if you see this, then let me know. So anyway, moving on to the next place, and so far, not good at all. Haven't really made anything. So hopefully things get better here when we play some blackjack next. So I'll be back. Alright, guys, I am back. I just pulled into the parking garage at this casino, and it is so packed in here. Hoping to get this spot here right by the door if this guy doesn't take it. Well, go ahead. Oh, man. Okay, I got it. So busy in here, sorry. It's I can't believe how many people are here. Friday, just a little bit afternoon, and it is so busy. So, wow, okay. I'm going to hop in here, and hopefully there's some tables available, but I'm not too optimistic quite yet. So, hopefully there's somewhere to play, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, guys, I am back. So, went into that place, and it was so packed, and I couldn't understand why. And finally, on my way out, I noticed there was some kind of a convention in the area, and people were wearing some kind of tags. So that's what was going on. It was so busy that people were parking on ramps and things like that they're not supposed to be. I got lucky when I pulled in. Although it was really, really packed, I got the second spot from the door. So I got lucky someone was pulling out as I was coming in. So that was the beginning of my luck there. I walked in and went to the high limit area, found a table to play with my favorite dealer of all time, who has always brought me back from a losing session. I sit down and I had a good session, and always, I don't know why, but whenever she's dealing, I have a good session. My low for the session was minus 100. My high for the session was plus 1,400, and I left plus 1,000. Then I walked around the casino, looked at some plays, didn't really find anything. It was so bad, I had a $5 free play and couldn't find a place to play it, so I just played it in just a terrible machine. And then I came back around to blackjack again and saw another table, sat down there, played there for a while. My low for that session was 0. My high for that session was plus 500. and then the table got packed with 3 other people, and I took off plus 500. So overall, 2 short sessions of blackjack plus $1,500 total, and moving on to the next place. Actually, they weren't that short. They were together, they were just a little over an hour long. So but moving on to the next place now. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I went into that place. As soon as I pulled in the parking lot, I noticed it was really busy. This is generally not a busy place. I went in, it was a very old crowd that was in there. Whole different crowd than the place I just left just before coming here. And I looked around the whole place, all the machines and stuff, and other than finding about, just a few cents here and there in some machines, there was really nothing going on. I saw a lot of advantage players in there, and I saw our friend who, if you've been listening for a while, you may have recalled me talking about him, and that was our good friend Genghis and his wife Connie. So they were in there, and he was watching a machine. He asked me how I was doing, and sometimes, some of these Asian guys, you can't really tell if they understand what you're saying or not, because they kind of just start saying yes in the middle of what you're saying. So, but he was watching a guy play a machine, and he had no clue. If he was really going to sit down at that machine, then I really don't have anything to worry about, and I wonder how he has any money left. But I talked to him for a few minutes, and we just walked around the place, and there was really nothing. There was so little. There was a very long-term play that would have yielded not much, and since I don't have a card at this casino brand at all, it doesn't make any sense because I'm not getting any points. Now, at least if I know I'm going to break even after a certain amount of money in the machine, then I can get some free play out of it, but I don't even have a card there, so I wasn't even planning on getting one anyway. So we're going to move on to another place. And one thing I forgot to mention this morning, when I was at the doctor, I had said I wanted to get a bunch of tests done, and instead of just doing what the doctor wants you to do, which is basically whenever you feel pain, you let them know, and then they'll try to help you ease the pain instead of fixing the problem. What I wanted to do was some preemptive tests to kind of see if things were going on before they happen. So with my annual physical comes some blood work that needs to be done, and their computers were down, so they couldn't even print the stickers to put on the vials. So I am going to go take care of that on Sunday morning. I set up an appointment at a hospital for Sunday morning to get my blood drawn. Now, also, as we're aging, different things can come up: calcium, testosterone, arteries, things like that, and you want to make sure everything's in check. And she had mentioned that calcium is normally not a big thing for men, and I had mentioned I had a small break a few years ago. She said if the doctor didn't mention that your bones were thin, don't worry about that. So I let that go. But I did want to get some kind of a scan on just my overall system, especially heart and things like that. And I asked her about that, and she said, well, we could do that. It's not covered by your insurance, but it's $100. I'm thinking, only $100? They're going to do a CT scan on my heart, and it's only going to cost me $100? And I'm like, okay, well, let's do it. And then after that, depending on how that turns out, or if they don't find anything and I'm still worried, then there's another pharmacy group that goes around the country in a mobile vehicle that does a scan of your arteries. And I've seen videos on YouTube about how this test works. And there's some good things that can come out of it. They can tell you what percentage blockage you have in your arteries, because we all have some percentage. But if it's 20 or 30 or even 50%, it's not a big deal. When you start getting into the 80s and 90s, that's when you have to start worrying about it. And they can actually go in and clear that out, not without risk, because you can get a stroke during the operation. But obviously we want to take care of ourselves, and we want to be around for a long time. In my family, I'm the one who brings in the money, and I'm the one who does all the AP stuff on the side. You know, I do all kinds of crazy stuff. I do investing. I have some side businesses. So, and then I manage some stuff too. So, with all that stuff going on, my wife's not going to be able to step in a second and take over that stuff. She's probably going to sell off a lot of stuff to live off of. So, you know, the healthier I can be, the better it is for them. Obviously, I want to be alive, but if something happens to me, then I have a large family that doesn't have anyone to take care of them. So, I set up a CT scan for Sunday morning. So I'll go in there at 7:30 in the morning. You can't have any kind of caffeine for 24 hours. And at least by then I would know, you know, my blood pressure was good today. I'll know my sugar levels, my A1C. I'll have my heart scan back, and I can feel a lot better. So, yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean, as you're getting older, you start worrying about these things, and having the reassurance or knowing that there's a problem and being able to take care of it is important to me. So, letting you go for now, and I'll be back after the next stop. All right, guys, I am back. So, when I went to this next place, I had actually gotten a call from one of my people that lives around here, and they said they had a play. So I walked in. I go directly to where they said they were, and indeed they had a play. Now, a lot of times when people do this for you, sometimes they'll do it out of the kindness of their heart, but usually not. Obviously, everyone wants money. So some people want 50%, and you can tell them no way. Some people want 30%, and you can tell them no way. To me, 15% I think is generous of the profit, or a flat amount, and you're going to know by having played the game before, and you're going to know how much you think it's going to get, and depending on the person and what they're willing to take, life is all about a negotiation. So if someone's willing to take $20, that might be a lot of money to them, but you know it's going to pay $800. You want them to take that 20 and get out of there and go play and you know, go do their normal thing, losing their money, and leave you alone so you can get your 800. Now, if it's an iffy play or some of these machines that could go either way, then you want to do a percentage, is what I would do, and that person will just sit next to you the whole time, and sometimes it'll be 5 spins, and sometimes it'll be 1,500 spins, sometimes it'll be 5,000 spins, and I've had those. I've had, let's see, the highest I've ever had like that was 9,000, over 9,000 spins before we got to our goal and we made our money on there. So, and he sat down next to me the whole time and waited for his percentage. So, and I'd be like, you know, if I know that things are going really well, I'll say, look, if you don't want to wait around, I'll give you this much amount flat right now, and you know, you don't have to wait for 2 more hours with me while I play it out. But usually those guys are the gambling type, and they'd rather get a percentage because they want to be part of the action and they're not having any risk in it. Remember, you're the one risking your money, so that's why you pay them very little and you keep most of it, because you're the one taking 100% of the risk. And if they had money to do it themselves, they would have never called you in the first place. But we played that one through. It only paid about $86 or something like that. And then we went around and looked at some other machines, some good, some bad. Overall, not very good. This place got very crowded this afternoon, and from what I heard this morning was really, really quiet. I saw mostly, so at the casino I played blackjack. There were tons of new advantage players that were younger white girls, and I haven't really seen that before, but now I'm seeing like 4 or 5 of them at that location. At this location, it's mainly Asians, and they will circle around waiting for the time to hop in, and they will jump at the machine. The person's butt will barely have lifted off the seat, and they'll already be sitting down. So I try to make friends with some of them if I'm standing around or they're standing around, joke around a little bit and get to know them a little bit, and they're going to be a little bit nicer to you than if they see that you're waiting for something you know, and I've done it before. I've sat down and been watching a machine. I look over and there was already someone there, and I'll just point to the machine and they'll nod yes, and I'll know that they were there before me, and I'll walk away. Why get into a fight if they were there before me? And then I may or may not win, and I have an enemy. That's the last thing that you need. If you guys know each other up front, then you can agree whose it is, and they'll leave you alone. So anyway, with all that ups and downs going on in there, I only ended up ahead $40. So, you know, some days I'll make $1,500 or $2,000 on slots, and other days it'll be all blackjack and, you know, back and forth. You never know. So today happens to be more of a blackjack day, I guess. So plus $40 there. And right now it is getting to be a little bit later. I really would have liked it to be about an hour earlier at this point, but I'm heading over to another place right now. And at this place there are a couple machines that I hope to have an advantage on that other people don't know. And a couple of the good machines have recently been removed. So we're going to do a little bit of scouting. So we're about 45 minutes away right now from the next place, and then we're going to do some scouting. So I expect to be in there for about an hour, and that would get me home around 7, I'm hoping. That would have been a 13-hour day. So, you know, I long for the days of last year, early in the year, when it seemed like every day was a $3,000 winner. But, you know, even if you're making $10,000 a month, $300 a day, it's a lot of money. You know, we have to put it in perspective, I guess. So anyway, okay, moving on to the next spot. I'll be back. Okay, guys, I am back. So right now I am still about 30 miles away from the next spot. We've got 33 miles range on the car, and looks like a lot of traffic up ahead, so I don't want to risk it and run out of gas. So I am going to look for a place. I think, if I recall right, in a couple of miles up here there's a decent gas station, and they use Upside, probably get gas for under $3. So I'm gonna head over that way, and hopefully it'll be a good price. So alright, gonna stop here, gonna get some gas, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I am back. Went into the next place, and it was pretty busy. At this point it's getting to be evening, and there were a lot of people in there. I looked around at the normal machines and didn't see too much going on. Saw a friend of mine playing a machine, but I didn't want to bother him because I didn't want to sit there and talk at that point, because I had a lot of things to look at still. So I continued walking around and looking at things, and was just finding little scraps here and there, you know, things that, you know, most people wouldn't even take, $1, $2, things like that. But I was already there, put the voucher in, you know, take the money. But mostly small plays in there. And then when I was just about done, I went back and talked to this guy. He was telling me about a lot of these people that have become so aggressive right now. They're actually pushing older people out of the way. He told me about an incident that happened where an older man and his wife were sitting at a machine. She was helping him get up. He was on oxygen, and this Asian guy pushes him out of the way and sits down, and 3 or 4 people came over to see if he was okay. That's not all right, you know. First, we're human beings. We gotta take care of each other. I understand you want to make money. I understand you might be greedy, but nothing is more important than human life. So anyway, I guess they didn't push the issue too much. One of them mentioned something to a manager, but since the person it happened to didn't push the issue, nothing was done. But I'm seeing in a lot of places now where they're just going around and rounding everybody up as if you're a card counter. You know, this is slot people. They're going around rounding them all up and throwing them all out. And I've even started to see some casinos. And actually, this guy was telling me about a place that he was just at. And I've heard same thing happen at other places, where they went around and wrote down everybody who was doing that type of thing and kicked them all out. They watched them for a few days before they kicked them out, saw all the machines that they looked at, and they changed all those to different machines. So that's one way to get rid of people. You know, same with blackjack. You make them all 6 to 5 tables, you're not going to have a problem, but then people are going to lose money so fast that you're going to lose customers that way too. So does it make sense to lose the advantage players? I think the answer is, on a case-by-case basis, it's okay to lose them, because you don't want the aggressive people, the people who are harassing people, the people who don't contribute anything but trouble. You want those people out, but nice people like you and me, you know, what's wrong with having us in your casino? And we don't bother anybody. We play the games. We're quiet. We don't make a ruckus. So anyway, I talked to him for probably 10 minutes. And afterward, I checked a couple more machines on my way out. I did find a play on one machine, and I had a $20 or $30 voucher, put that in there, and that evaporated in about 2 seconds. It was a $1 a spin machine, and then I put a $100 bill in. After 5 or 6 more spins, I finally reached my goal, and it paid out like $300 or so, something like that. Anyway, I ended up, the session, I had $246. However that adds up, I ended up ahead $246. So, and then I go to the machine to cash out. 2 things happened. I go to the machine to cash out, and a lot of these machines will run out of a certain denomination of change, or even bills. So they run out of 20s, they'll give you all 5s, or eventually all 1s. And I've gotten 70 ones before out of a machine, which is crazy, because then those are gone in 2 seconds. But then, like, let's say they run out of pennies and they owe you 53 cents, they'll give you 2 quarters, and then they'll give you a voucher for 3 cents, and you have to take that to the cashier. Well, today they must have run out of some kind of change. It gave me part of my change and didn't even give me the voucher for the rest of it. So what are you going to do? I mean, I've been to a casino before where I was so mad about what was going on that day, I actually went up to the cashier and said, hey, this thing shorted me 42 cents. And they had me fill out a form. They don't need ID. But I just put a fake name in and the amount, and they gave it to me right at the cashier. So I guess it's something that happens and it's normal, but is it really worth standing in line? I guess only if you're upset. But anyway, I went to the cashier to get more players cards. I wanted to have some extras. And they swiped my card, and this is at a property where my home base is where I was banned from. So they asked me if I knew that I was banned from there, and I said yes, but you know, I'm still allowed to go everywhere else. It's not a problem. So I am their second highest tier, and never had any real issues. So anyway, at this point now it is rush hour, so I'm heading toward home, and we'll figure out what to do from here. I'm going to get on the road here, and then I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, continuing my trip right now. It's getting late. Still a nice day, heck of a nice day. 59 degrees, partly cloudy. You know, earlier I mentioned that it's going to be a 13-hour day. I forgot about my doctor's appointment. I was just doing it from the time I normally would leave. It's going to be closer to a 10 or 10 and a half hour day. So shorter, abbreviated day, but still did pretty well. For the week, we actually got the goal that we were seeking for the week. I was hoping for a lot more, but didn't quite work out, but still accomplished the goal. Let's see here. First week of November, got Election Day next Tuesday, and then Thanksgiving. So I'll be actually somewhere else in the Midwest in Thanksgiving time. A place where there's there's a lot of casinos there, depending on how you define a casino. Let's just say that. So I'll be there for about a week, and then still trying to figure out how to get south by the end of the month. We'll figure it out from there. So, yeah, I'm thinking maybe tomorrow I may head out and play some more. If so, that would be added to this week as well. But for now, I'll just wrap it up. If you have any questions or comments, it's mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.